Hi guys, I'm Miriam Quitelis. I wanted to tell you a story, a Cogno movement story about healing. Um, a couple weeks ago, my cat passed away. I had two cats for the past 16 years, and my last of my two cats passed away a few weeks back, and her name was Chloe, and it was very sudden, and she looked amazing right before passing. And so we weren't at all expecting her to go. She was my daughter's cat. And when I say that, I just mean that my daughter took a particular liking to her and found her to be very comforting. And I have many, many memories of this cat sitting on my daughter's lap during um, the pandemic, during all these weeks and weeks of time that we were at home, and how incredibly healing it was to have such a loving creature just take comfort in you during such an unstable time. So Chloe's passing came, and as all death does, as all time that we experience any kind of death, it does kind of kick up a lot of emotions. And a lot of the emotions sometimes have to do with the animal or the person that we're grieving for. But a lot of it also is other things that are connected to it, or um, just things that are adjacent to those feelings. It doesn't even have to make sense, to be honest. Anyway, so she passed, and maybe about 3 weeks went by, and all of a sudden, my daughter and I started thinking it wouldn't be great to have a dog. So within 3 weeks, there was a dog in our house, and within the first day and a half, we figured out this was not a good match. The dog had intense anxiety about being left alone. And while anyone in their right mind would just say, no, this is too much, especially someone like myself who already has a full-time job and is trying to pivot into other areas, other careers. I'm a busy person. So um, anyone in that position would immediately know and act on the fact that this was not a good choice. But something in me just uh, thought of me abandoning this animal and just couldn't deal with abandoning this puppy, this dog. It's not a puppy, it's 2 years old. But there's something that got kicked up in me about abandonment, about um, being saved or being cared for enough to be saved. So many emotions came up, um, and I couldn't even see straight. Within a week, I didn't even know what had happened to me. I was a complete emotional wreck, and over whether I should keep this dog, whether I should, one day I would be, yes, we need to return the dog to the no-kill shelter, um, to the no-kill rescue. And and I was even reassured by the people in the rescue that they find homes for all the pets. And yes, it might take time, but they do it, and they do it lovingly. So it wasn't even a worry about them. Let me turn off my heater. It wasn't even a worry about whether the pet was going to be cared for or not. Um, just so many emotions came up, and it started um, to cause me so much grief. And it was, and I know for people that know me, know can and looking at me from the outside were probably wondering what was happening and why is this person grieving so strongly over a dog that she's only had for a week, that just didn't seem to fit. Um, and thankfully, I have incredibly supportive friends and family, and they just let me go through the process that I was going through. And this is where Cogno movement was helpful. I was doing a session every single day, sometimes more than once, working on the triggers that I was feeling. I was feeling uh, triggers in the idea of abandonment, like just thinking of, um, you know, I saw myself mirrored in the dog, and I all this emotion about abandonment came up, and I had to address those, and how incredibly helpful all the work I've been doing with cognitive movement has been in being able to, within a couple of days, sort of work through and move mountains worth of um, locked trauma around so many topics. Um, so I really, right now, I'm sitting in my art room and I am relaxed and at peace. And it's a feeling I didn't think I could feel again anytime soon, just last week. So, yes. So I understand when um, grief hits, and oftentimes grief comes with a passing of a loved one. Um, it does bring up so much pain, obviously, but sometimes it also brings up pain that's adjacent but unrelated to the passing. So it could be stored up trauma, it could be related or unrelated issues around how we view this passing. So, um, really important if you have experienced loss recently, to journal, to talk to friends, reach out to people, continue to talk about it until it makes sense to you. And be open to what comes up, because a lot of things will come up, and yes, they won't make sense. And also be open to what other people see, because one thing that woke me up to the discrepancy in how much I was grieving over a 1 week old dog, or a dog I've had for 1 week, um, was just having a person who loved me tell me, be like, oh, that just seems a little disproportionate. And yeah, it might sound initially cold to hear that. Um, but to just, when you're in grief, you do not see straight. So stop and listen to those people who care about you, and just be a tiny bit more open, and also allow the grief to just hit you and go through you, and just keep expanding and allowing. Um, so, yeah, there is hope. I know it because just this time, maybe about 4 days ago, I was in a really bad space. And um, now I'm sitting here in peace and can breathe easy. And it's all because I um, questioned, and I wrote about it, and I spoke out loud during my Cogno movement sessions about what I was going through. And I journaled, and I did tarot readings. And a lot of times, all of those things um, talk to friends, of course, but all of those things help us process what is kicked up when we lose a loved one. So if you recently lost a loved one and need someone to work with you, I am here. You can reach me at my website, which is www.catellisart.com. All right. And breathe easy.